Now, back to your person who's 40, 45, they're going to live another 40 years. They're probably going to work another 30. You want to lean into your advantages. Your advantages in your 20s are flexibility. You want to workshop careers, find your talent, not your passion. Start saving a little bit of money. A little bit of money when you're young is a lot when you're older. Try and develop that savings muscle. $100 a month, $1,000 a month. Oh my God, $2,500 a month. If you can do that in your 20s, you're going to be fine when you're my age. Even if you don't go double platinum or sell a book or be a baller in business, you're fine. Your plan B is all set. That's your advantage when you're in your 20s is time. When you get to your 40s, your advantage is the following. One, hopefully you're in a relationship with a partner you can align with around financial objectives, your approach to spending, your approach to earning. You can see the runway. All right, I'm going to retire in 30 years. I need 15 to 25 times my nut to be in the bank to retire. I spend about $120,000 a year. That 20 times that, I would need 2.4 million. I'm not now work backwards. How much would I need to save over the next 30 years to get to 2.4 million, assuming 8% a year? The landing lights are on. You can start to plan your life. I'm not going to get there. I can't save this much. I got kids in college. Okay. When do your kids go to college? Can you take that burn down to 80 grand by moving to Mexico City or Costa Rica or to St. Louis? But you have the advantage of knowing your path. Ideally, you have a career where you can make some money and start saving a little bit. Ideally, you have a partner where you can get alignment around working together to get that financial security. But most people in their 40s are under the impression their life is over. I mean, they're probably going to live to be over 100. And so you don't have 80 years, you only have 60 years left. But you still probably got another 30 years working and making money, and you kind of know what you need, right? So I think there's advantages at every age, but this notion that it's too late for me, I'm in my 40s, I'm going to ignore finances, oh, bullshit. You just need to have an adult conversation with yourself.
Do you think it makes sense then to go kind of risk on when you're young and then go diversified once you're older? Because you just want to highlight that for people that are, like I was when I was 18, to kind of go all in and to make those big bets when you have nothing to lose. And the minute you have something to lose, whether that's your mortgage, or, you've got children to take care of, or now you've got wealth, to then go risk off. Is that the kind of approach you would suggest to life?
I think generally speaking, you can't be as risk aggressive when you have kids. When you're younger, look, if you screw up here, you're likable enough that you can probably find couches to live on for 2 years if you needed to. If you just got in over your skis, you could find a way to dance. When you're young, you can dance between the raindrops. I lived in New York. I had two roommates. When I started my business, my girlfriend paid our rent, and because I didn't have kids or dogs. There's just a certain level of responsibility and things you got to take care of as you get older. When you get a little bit older, don't go all in on anything. If you're going to start a business, use other people's capital, ring fence it. Don't get seduced into the worst thing that can happen in your 30s and 40s is you start a business and you start failing slowly. You just don't know. The worst type of business is one that gives you just enough green signals that you keep investing more time and more money. Like red envelope, that's what people know me for. That's the worst thing that can happen to somebody because it failed slowly. It failed over 11 years. I started an e-commerce incubator in New York backed by Goldman Sachs, Maveron, JP Morgan. It was out of business in 8 months because of the dot-com meltdown. That's a blessing. The best thing that can happen is success. The second best thing is fast failure. The worst thing that can happen to you is slow failure. You can't have slow failure in your 30s and 40s. So you want to make sure that if you go in on something, you ring fence it. I'm leaving my job. I'm going to try and start my own business. I'm going to spend 2 years doing it, a certain amount of capital, no more than maybe 10, 20% of my capital, because hitting a wall and failing at 50 is much more devastating than hitting a wall or failing at 25 or 30. You can get up again. You're fine. You can press the restart button a bunch of times. So you want to take advantage of that in your 20s and 30s and workshop a bunch of things. I'm not saying hop around. I'm not saying, oh, I don't love this. It's not my passion. No, that probably means it's just work. But if you're not making progress, if you're not making money, if you're not getting roles in films, if everything's just really hard, you're in a position at that age to say, you know what? I'm going to leave Milan and move to Munich, or I'm going to Dubai. You have flexibility when you're young. You have geographic flexibility. Lean into your advantage. It's a heck of a lot easier right now to make money in Dubai than it is in Caracas, right? You'd rather be good in a great economy than outstanding in a mediocre economy. You have geographic flexibility. Lean into your advantages, your flexibility, your ability to recover, your ability to workshop.